Hello and welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. Happy Monday to you. Welcome back for another video, another Bitcoin price action analysis. Before I dive straight into the price action, I just want to remind you it's not financial advice. Right, this is a 4-hour chart and I'm going to come on to that blue line in a moment. But the first thing I wanted to do was, as it's now Monday, yesterday we had a weekly closure. Now, CME closed on Friday, and if you look at the weekly closure on CME on Friday, you can see that it turned out to be a rather less bearish than could have been closure. So overall, I'd say the week was sort of neutral with regards to buy and selling pressure, much like the previous 2 weeks, to be honest. So that's fairly interesting. And it did effectively then keep it within the overall range, which is somewhere between 60,000 and 75,000. So that's fairly interesting. And what that does also mean is it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if this week doesn't do anything significant, I'll be 9 weeks within this range, which, that is rather... That would be 1 week longer than I suggested based on the evidence I'd collated on the weekly consolidation since the start of the current bull run. But there was one that was 13 weeks. So, effectively, the longer the Bitcoin remains within this range without breaking down, the more likely it is to break out to the upside and continue on with the bull run. That obviously makes logical sense. So anyway, that was CME, and Bybit obviously has a similar looking chart. What's all this? What's all this? Let me remove all that gibberish from the chart. There we go. Right, now you can see the daily range, the weekly chart for Bybit, and because over the weekend, the price did go up a bit further than on CME. This weekly closure on Bybit, which was last week, closed in a slight bullish, with a slight bullish slant. But again, basically mixed buying and selling pressure that effectively was equivalent throughout the week. So same thing, more sideways price action within the range. All right, so this is the 9th week. My goodness, I did not expect this so many weeks ago. Now, to get into a bit more juicy detail, here is the 4-hour chart, and I've just managed to delete that line I had on, which is rather annoying because that line is this line of significance. In my humble opinion, something is alarming, go away. Sorry about that. And a 50% retracement from the top of this move to the bottom. So this move up from the bottom to the current top has its midpoint there. So I'm just going to stick a little trend line in just along here. And you can see that the trend line is in and around 61,000, also around this low. Some of the daily closures, I believe, in this area, significant daily closure over here. It's not the bottom of the range, but it's certainly a significant area. And the reason I point that out is that 4-hour daily closures for Bitcoin back below there, that would look good for another move to the downside. Clearly, you'd still need confirmation on it getting lower than 56.4, which currently I'm characterizing as fake out. However, it will be confirmed as a breakout if price starts to close below there. Obviously, that would just be continuation of the downtrend, as opposed to if price can remain anywhere above the bottom, but I'd like to see it. So changing character from this downtrend to an uptrend, I'd like to see occur in a truly technical fashion, something along those lines, i.e. don't break the 50% point on any meaningful closures. Wicks down are fine. So this is representing closures rather than wicks. And then a move back up, get above where this would be local high. I mean, it's still not quite, but it would be. if the price pulled back a bit more. And that clearly would be a different set of circumstances to this, and therefore more upside would become likely. So that line, for me personally, is one of significance. The momentum on the 4 hours still to the upside. This is still above the zero line, which is the MACD. It's a little bit too far away from the zero line for me to take this price as an absolute one. But if it did come down a bit further, the closer it gets to the zero line, the more relevant this price is. And I would suggest that it may well turn down or cross below the zero line if Bitcoin starts to close 4 hours or dailies back below, somewhere between 61,000 and 60,000. That then shifts momentum back to the downside, and with momentum already being to the downside on the daily, that means more, well, that would make it far more likely for the next big-ish move to be more downside rather than more upside. If, however, the counter happens, and the counter is obviously this, you could see that clearly the momentum on the 4 hour would remain up, and the momentum on the daily would probably get closer and closer to flipping above the zero line as well. When I say momentum, I mean the MACD. It's my own personal momentum oscillator. It's available for everyone, but I use it in a very personalized manner. So yeah, the 4 hour, if there's a change in formation from a downtrend to an uptrend, may then bleed into the daily, put it back with momentum to the upside, and then that would probably be the start of a move back up to the top of the range, certainly around about 70,000. Excuse me. Wow, that was rude. Whoa, pardon me. I just had something to eat, so sorry about that. You'll be pleased to know it's not smell-o-vision. Anyway, yeah, 70,000, this sort of thing is likely to precede a move back up to about 70,000. And then, if Bitcoin can secure some time above then, that would look good for a range break to the top. I would not be surprised if Bitcoin spends another week within this range without breaking down or indeed breaking above. But I do not know that, so that is my humble opinion. Right, where are we? Coming up for 8 minutes. There's not much new there from yesterday's video, so I apologise for that. But the price action hasn't really given me anything more. And so, yeah, what I'm on watch out for now, because I've still got a bullish stance overall on the higher time frames, i.e. weekly. I'm on lookout for a higher low here. So with this being the current low, I'd like to see a higher low somewhere in this area. And it would make sense for it to be above sort of 60,500. That would make sense to me from a technical analysis point of view. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, there we go. I'm going to leave the video at that. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please like and subscribe. And if you haven't enjoyed it, don't like and subscribe. And don't come back tomorrow because I'll be doing it all again. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your... Enjoy the remainder of your Monday. And I will see you tomorrow